Mobbing on earth, boy. Gonna do this one time for the dog. Long live DMX. About to be a rough ride. Get rich and die mobbing type shit. Yeah, rap dog. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. Rap star. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. I'm talking with the plug about the numbers on the unit. Got a spot OT for Coke and D, and it's booming, coming through like I do. You know, with all my shine on. Top of my appearance that a nigga get it grind on. All white 114 in mix. Living violent, got me feeling 14 again. Got girlfriends that take trips on the Greyhound with a tan dog. And boomerang that cash when they touch down for the handoff. I'm hands on, shut them down, open up shop. Think I'm flipping, then get at me, dog. You know how I rock. I've been eating long enough, but I can't stop being greedy. I got divas trying to fuck and they can't stop being needy for a rap dog. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. Rap star. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. Rap star. My name, D-double-A, like what? I claim MOE for life. No more game. I was trying to play nice. Now, shit changed. Kill them broad daylight. What these niggas want? The drama, then come and get it. Don't know what these bitches want, but they probably need the answer. Told you niggas from the jump. You falling, I catch you slipping. Don't know where I'm coming from. So how you gonna say I'm tripping? Where the hood at? I don't think they know who we be. Where my dogs at? See a pussy nigga, show your teeth. I'm the rawest that you ever saw. Dog off the reservoir. Pure breed for the cheap. Dog with no betting on. Rap dog. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. Rap star. With the dog like I'm DMX. Got me blowing money fast. DMX. Mom, make a pussy nigga bleed. DMX. You can check the game file, nigga. PDF. Rap star.
Who's brought that business to that mobbing? Shout out to everybody pulling up, man.
Got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB. My ambitions are tonight. I'ma stay slider. You don't wanna smoke with me. Got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB.
I'm already a stepper, so you ain't really gotta push me. I'ma slide on whoever I hear profession, they the bully. Wanna get on my level, but they can't because they pussy. I don't fold under pressure, forever tethered to this bully. Bow down bitches in the presence of this mob figure. All about the dollars cause they won't let the God nigga to be a mobster. No, you gotta live by the code, even if it means sitting down for life or parole. Cause mob niggas step on shit and slang white. Suckers play, they get hit up the same night. And you won't find a nigga live to show the opposition. There ain't no competition. It's my ambitions as a slider.
Tonight, I'ma stay slider. You don't wanna smoke with me. You don't wanna got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB. My ambitions as a slider. Tonight, I'ma stay slider. You don't wanna smoke with me. You don't wanna got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB. My ambitions as a slider.
Dog trying to be a rap star. I made a play with the heart. And granted, I got charged. Born and bred the hustle. Did it up out the gutter. I'm buzzing by the struggle. So under pressure, I ain't budging. Never been robbed. The pussies had to steal from me. What is this? Some great friend dirty. If it was real money, you ain't in the mob, but nigga, you in the fucking way. Chill with all them throwback pictures. Go make another play. Tied to the street for my actions. This ain't the other day. Like your whole shit off the rip. Won't get another day. Bitch. And you won't find a nigga wild. Show these little industry niggas they can get it. It's my ambitions as a slider.
Tonight, I'ma stay slider. You don't wanna smoke with me. You don't wanna got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB. My ambitions as a slider. Tonight, I'ma stay slider. You don't wanna smoke with me. You don't wanna got to take nothing in with me. If you step on me, a nigga OB. My ambitions as a slider.
Daylight. Mobbing on Earth, boy. Showtime. Hey.
D-Mark got that heat.
Curtain call, let the show begin. I know it's hurting y'all the way I'm going in. I need a murder dog covered for the times I was killing shit and y'all ain't know it then. Working hard, long hours in the trap, in my bag like some dope again. It's that blue magic, no Nicky Bonds cut. Niggas know who I'm doper than. Everybody, old nigga, new nigga, only see a challenge in a few niggas. A lot of y'all can wipe the smile off your face on the mob. It ain't none of you niggas. I just put the switch on the new blicker. Rapid fire spitting, it's a boost nigga. 2 Street for a lot of you niggas. Hard knocks, light volume 2 jigger. Back on my shit again. Endurance, I tire him out like a Mitchell, and I'm about to put on that shit again. I was trying to be humble, but fuck it, I'm still a man. Don't rap like a kilogram. They finna spin this up top like a ceiling fan. I'm about to pop like a trigger man. From that hustling stock, so I'm more about my dividends. It's showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind. Had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time. Now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time. Now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga, pulling on the nigga. I should pull a Kevin, kick her in the titty. Nah, I'm being petty, baby, I'm just kidding. Going with your move, I ain't even tripping. I had groupie back when I was in the kitchen. Had 3 counted, catching what I'm pitching. Montana way, started with the dishes. Out of town played, not the pocket trip. Real G's round me, we gon' do the fiction. Niggas rub me wrong, it gon' be some friction. It gon' be a spark, I'ma stand on business. Ain't no favorite I can stand them niggas, they gon' lay in dirt. Candlelight visuals, face on the shirt. Now you get the picture, Psalm 23. Now you get the scripture, homies, they gon' fly. They done got religion. I be outside, functioning with killers. Police outside, hunting for the dealer. Bitches mouth wide, hungry for a nigga. I ain't even dropping money on the tigger. True player, I be turned with the ism. Bad bitches know the vibe I be giving. Fuck the haters and the lie they been telling. They'll make the news at noon 10 and 11. Showtime, it's showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind. Had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time. Now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time. Now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga, showtime. I was trying to get rich in like no time. Underdog with a slow grind. Had to run the shit up to a gold mine. Niggas hated like the whole time. Now they kept the wave like a coastline. Yeah, these bitches fronted like the whole time. Now they front row when it's showtime. Cheering for a nigga.
Yeah. Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAA, man. Daylight TV. Back at y'all with another Rise and Grind live show. Episode 32. And yeah, man, we got a show today. Got a show. First hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell if you really mobbing with the content. Daylight TV. Let's get it. So, first story on the route, on the menu. Say rise. Say on the menu. I'm serving now. You feel me? First story on the menu or whatever, we got breakdown of Hernandez Govan's VLAD interview. Probably, yeah. But so as y'all know, I covered Hernandez Govan trial. I was on suspension, but I still put all of the videos up there. It's a whole playlist. And just that fast, bro. This nigga go on VLADTV, right? So the acquitted murder defendant, Hernandez Govan, in his recent VLAD interview, discussed his background and business dealings with young adults, which surprised me. You know what I'm saying? And a key encounter with the Cornelius Smith who took the stand on last week. Right? Now, despite VLAD promise to release videos early for paid subscribers, he's milking this shit, you know what I mean? And it's only 3 parts out. So in part one, Govan explained how he grew up in Memphis and Orange Mound, where he was in and out of trouble for years. And, you know, his criminal history spanning decades with charges including like aggravated assault, drug possession, you know, hood shit, right? He insisted that he had a good business relationship with Dolph, saying that when Dolph still had a foot in the streets and they were dealing with, I guess, what he called petty marijuana, you know, everything was cool. You know what I mean? And pretty much maintained his innocence, that he never had no bad interaction with Dolph, you know what I mean, at all. Or, well, at least his story, you know what I'm saying? Like, innocence, I guess, is proven in court. In part two, he detailed like the unexpected meeting with Cornelius Smith, like showing up at his house while he had the dude Justin Johnson, who was another one of the shooters, aka Straight Drop. And I guess he had Big Jook and Straight Drop in his house, and he was trying to get Straight Drop signed to CMG, which we all know is Yo Gotti's label. And he explained being gung-ho about trying to get the Straight Drop nigga signed because supposedly somebody came to them, to him and his brother, to put up money, to put up the advance money for Moneybagg Yo, right? And naturally, we know where Moneybagg Yo is at right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy because he said he wanted to do it, but his brother was against it. So I guess they had to put their money together, whatever the case may be. But so you know, I guess he's looking at it like this is a second opportunity. I ain't gonna miss out on this one, right? So he's saying like Smith showed up, pulled him outside, stating that Dolph had planned to put a hit on Gotti. And Govan is like, he had only heard about hits on Dolph, like attempts on Dolph and everything like that, not the other way around. And that he immediately like dismissed the whole, you know, shit what Cornelius Smith was saying, saying that the street beef was not his business. Like the street beef between CMG and PRE is not his business, and that he would just focus on the music side of everything, right? Now, what's interesting about it is, in part one, now that I think about it, he mentioned how he never met Gotti. He had no like previous dealings with him or anything like that, and that he only knows young Big Jook through gambling. You know what I mean? Like they were gambling together, and that's how they met and, you know, got a clip. Yo, shout out to everybody who just pulled up. Share it live if y'all don't mind. But so yeah, so now after all of that so you know, this is kind of interesting, but I guess he could be just doing the music deal with Big Jook. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now after all of that, the street beef wasn't my business, right? In part three, Govan gets real detailed about the failed attempt to squash the beef between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti. Govan claimed that he attempted to organize a truce between Young Dolph and Yo Gotti to squash the feud through a respected basketball figure in Memphis who reached out to a club promoter to get, you know, both Gotti and Dolph on the phone. Now, according to Govan, who don't know Gotti at all and is not involved in the street beef and shit, right? Yo Gotti was open to the meeting. However, when the promoter reached out to Young Dolph, Dolph allegedly responded, "Fuck no," and hung up on the promoter before blocking him. But shit, like I can't say I blame Dolph. I mean, within a period of, let's just say, 6 years, right? From 2015 to 2021 when he died. The streets have alleged, even if it's not true, just the fact that the streets is putting it out there, right? The streets has alleged that CMG has sent nearly 200 shots, rounds, if not more, in the direction of Young Dolph and members of PRE, leading to Young Dolph's, untimely demise on November 17th, 2021. You know what I mean? This is not good, bro. Like, dude need to get low, enjoy the victory. You know what I mean? Like, but instead, I hear he out here threatening YouTubers for speaking on it. Meanwhile, the nigga go on VLADTV. You know what I'm saying? Like, to do an interview, which is the last place anyone should go if they don't want to be talked about on these internet or YouTube streets. My advice is don't Keefy D or BTB Savage yourself, nigga. Because there's some people who believe that you're really involved in that shit, and I guess might feel like they want to slide the dough. And there are also people who believe that a federal RICO might be upon the horizon for, Yo Gotti and members of CMG, particularly black youngster crazy ass. But let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it his right to kind of move around like he's been found not guilty and all that shit? Or should he still, take the slice of humble pie with that victory or whatever and keep it pushing? You know what I mean? And then, like I said, anybody up in here, hit that like and subscribe button for the boy, VLADTV. You did Rise and Rise live show. New episodes every morning, Monday through Friday. I might not always be here on time, but I will be here. You know what I'm saying? So next up, I was covering yesterday. We're gonna continue with a story that we started covering yesterday. Mexican drug lord El Mayo pled guilty in Brooklyn court, forfeits $15 billion. Yeah, with a B, nigga. Ooh, excuse me. Sheesh. So yesterday, as I reported, on August 25th, 2025, Ismael El Mayo Zambada pleaded guilty to federal drug trafficking charges in a Brooklyn court. Zambada is 75, which is interesting because the report I saw yesterday said he was 77. But hey, you never know with these motherfuckers. Pleaded guilty to 1 count of racketeering conspiracy and 1 count of engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise from 1989 to 2024. So shit, from the time I was 5 till I just gave my age. I don't give a fuck. Damn, the time I was 5 to the time I was 40. God, golly, 35-year run and shit, man. During during the hearing, Zambada admitted to his extensive involvement in the Sinaloa cartel's activities. He admitted that he trafficked at least 1.5 million kilograms of cocaine and other drugs, primarily into the United States. 1.5 million. Yeah, I get it. Over a 35-year period. God damn. Because, all right, so a kilo is 2.25 pounds. Let's just say 3 million pounds, like plus or some shit. God damn, bro. Like, yeah, some shit like that. It's like 2 for every one. So, yeah, God damn, that nigga get it. Metric ton. Yeah, so anyway, and he had it clicking since the 80s, right? He admitted that he organized and ordered killings on rival cartel members, which resulted in the deaths of many innocent people, and bribing high-ranking Mexican officials to ensure the cartel's operation continued without interference. He expressed his regret for the harm caused by his drug trafficking and apologized for the violence in Mexico and damage in the U.S. Zambada agreed to forfeit $15 billion. You know what I'm saying? In a forfeiture money judgment. Now, like I mentioned yesterday, prosecutors agreed not to seek the death penalty. Shit, for $15 billion, you could have your life too. Like what? However, the plea agreement still carried a mandatory life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. And Zambada is scheduled for sentencing on January 13, 2026. God damn. Zambada's attorney, Frank Perez, stressed after the hearing that the plea agreement does not include any clause for cooperation with the government. And the decision to, I don't know, like, that was kind of shocking to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because given that his son, Vicente, El Gordo, did become a cooperating witness. He testified against El Chapo. Like, took the stand and everything. And I think he went into WITSEC. You know what I mean? Even though they still believe he might be, running the show. You know what I mean? Zambada even had to read a statement to the court acknowledging the potential conflict of interest from having the same lawyer who represented his snitch-ass son. So, according to Zambada's lawyer, Frank Perez, it said Zambada's focus shifted to accepting responsibility and moving forward once the death penalty was no longer, a possibility. I guess with the death penalty off the table, motivation for a high-risk cooperation deal kind of just went out the door. You know what I mean? I wonder why they ain't apply, the pressure. I mean, they say they want everybody, but they want to give like the next most dangerous trafficker in the world or whatever a chance to build up. You know what I'm saying? Now, some might think that, for the cartel leaders at the top, providing information on lower ranking members has like little value. You know what I mean? As one expert stated, I read somewhere, say, you know, when you're at the top of the chain, there's nobody else to cooperate against. You know what I mean? That's at the same level. But I can name at least two well-known cases where the plug snitched on the person who they were plugging in. Daniel Corral told on Big Meats. He was a cartel operative and all that shit. You know what I mean? And Danilo Blandon, you know what I mean, set up Freeway Ricky Ross. You know what I mean? So now the absence of a cooperation agreement could just be a strategic move on his part, though. Because like the government might have dangled a couple benefits, you know what I mean, such as a better prison for Zambada or protected custody, which I don't see, because like at least off the rip, they would be sending his ass or whatever to Florence ADX. You get what I mean? Somebody, you know, or like protective custody for his family members, but shit, if they ain't pressed the line on the family members for Vincente snitching or whatever and shit, they probably ain't no danger now, especially if he ain't telling. And I mean, there is somebody for him to tell on. The Mexican government, all them goddamn people, them officials he paid, some of them who were probably, you know, supposed to be fighting the drug war. You know what I'm saying? So him not taking a deal off the bat, since he still would have a, you know, shitload of time to do, could just be him, you know, trying to retain some leverage. He's 75 years old, bro. So I mean, even at this point, 10 years is damn near like a death sentence for this nigga. Like if he get 20, he dead in there. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think about this and shit. Like you think what do you think is gonna happen in sentencing? You think they're gonna hit him with life, or you think he's gonna get like a little 30-year yeah, but even if he get that, like I said, he's still, man, $15 billion or whatever, and I'm 70 something years old, nigga. Let me go. You heard? Because if I'm going to die in prison, I'm not giving nobody no $15 billion. The fuck? Commissary rules everything around me. Cream, get the honey buns. Go to commissary on an A-day. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, bro. I wouldn't do it. What y'all think? What would y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Would you give? Because unless I'm going to see some light, bro. Like conspiracy, the mandatory minimum for all the conspiracies is 10 years, right? But damn, if they give that nigga 10 years, bro, if they cut that kind of deal and he don't give nobody, I don't know. We shall see. You know what I mean? It's a lot of yapping at the top of the food chain. While we on the subject of cartel business, we got Sinaloa cartel group busted. He's probably retaining leverage for a family. Yup, that's exactly what I was saying. That's a hell of a list. Shout out Money Jane. Yeah, so Sinaloa cartel group busted in Washington State. Meanwhile, Trump got everybody in DC looking out. Yeah. But shit, I wouldn't have given up no goddamn 15 billion if I thought I could still get life. No bullshit. At 70, at 75, dog, for real. At 75 years old, after I've had that kind of run, you can fucking kill me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, whoever after me, they gonna ball. Kid, grandkid, great grandkid. Like, where did he have that shit? Because we know, like, a nigga like that, he had that liquid somewhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, so back to this though. Sinaloa, so 19 people connected to the Sinaloa cartel drug trafficking ring to a Sinaloa cartel drug trafficking ring, were indicted in Seattle following nearly a 2-year investigation. The group smuggled large quantities of fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, and heroin into Western Washington from Mexico, often using semi-trucks. The ring was allegedly directed by 2 brothers based in Mexico. The 37-count indictment named 19 people, including leaders, couriers, and distributors. As of late August 2025, 13 defendants were in custody, with law enforcement still searching for 6 others. The ring was reportedly run by Rosario Abel Joaquin Camargo Banuelos. I think I said that right. Let me see if I can flow with it. Rosario Abel Joaquin Camargo Banuelos, 31, and his brother Francisco Camargo Banuelos, 24, from Sinaloa, Mexico. Same home of El Mayo, like all of the big narcos. Like, I mean, even the guy who started the Guadalajara cartel or whatever is from Sinaloa. That's where they were the farmers in the north or whatever that nobody, like everybody looked at them like they was just some slow country ass Pisces and shit. You know what I mean? But niggas leveled up. Authorities allege that the drugs were moved from Mexico to Washington via California, naturally, right up the goddamn, I don't know if that's a 10 or a 5. Authorities allege, via California, and they say that it was distributed through the Puget Sound region from Tacoma to Whidbey Island. The operation resulted in the seizure of large amounts of illegal drugs and firearms, approximately 269 pounds of fentanyl, powder, and pills, with DEA officials estimate is the equivalent to 6.9 million lethal doses. So basically, they said they could wipe out the whole metro, like Seattle area or some shit like that. They said they found approximately 480 pounds of cocaine. Oh no, I think they were methamphetamine, and 30 pounds of cocaine, 8 pounds of heroin, and more than 21 firearms and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's the bust right there. And that's like some designer ass guns and shit like that or whatever. But gee. The investigation was conducted by the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, Seattle Police Department, and Homeland Security investigators. authorities had used undercover agents and wiretaps over the course of the 2-year investigation, and officials highlight that while this specific operation had been disrupted, the Sinaloa cartel still remains a threat. Yeah, even with the honcho head just pleading out and handing over $15 billion in, cash, property, and who knows what else the fuck. It'd be funny if a lot of that shit was probably in U.S. banks and been taxed already. And saying that the pursuit of international leadership will continue, but it's like to the point of like how there's nobody else or whatever to tell on and shit. Like, well, who else are you looking for if you say that you got the guy? Because we know this shit don't stop. That's why. Now, the Camargo Benuelos brothers were not among the 13 defendants that, got picked up. Authorities are actively searching for them or whatever and have, rewards and everything like that. The Sinaloa cartel has like, a decentralized structure. They more so operate like how terrorist groups operate themselves as opposed to like a hierarchy, like a whole mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like you just got like these little groups and plazas or groups within the plaza. You know what I mean? So it makes it challenging to figure out, what individuals belong to specific groups. Because like I mentioned yesterday, I'm gonna actually post a clip or whatever today. But it's split right now between the Mayecitos and the Chapitos. You know what I mean? They banging it out for control. So, while there is the Camargo, like Benuelos brothers, like their allegiance or what side they're on is not specified in there. But it did say that they focused on moving massive quantities of synthetic opiates and, crystal meth or whatever, which aligned with the business model of the Los Chapitos, you know what I mean? Which are the ops if you're, El Mayo. Now, at the top of the food chain, like I discussed, there's been a lot of wheeling and dealing with the government. And I wonder if this is the result of some big guys telling on some little guys to stay free and keep all of their money. Or are they just placing the crown from one head to the next? You know what I mean? Because when they wanted El Chapo, he was the most dangerous and influential trafficker in the world. And now, you know what I'm saying? El Mayo is the mastermind and Chapo was just a figurehead. And like I said in the video yesterday, bro, like, who do y'all think is next up? And apparently they already got someone to go after next. The Camargo Benuelos, bro. So, yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments too, man. Cartel rules in effect. Shit crazy, dog. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens. We'll keep following whatever that shit. I'm pretty sure there'll be more to come. More to come. Another update we can get into is Lil Nas X gets hit with 4 felonies and faces up to 5 years in state prison in California. That boy looks so sad. So last week, I covered the incident in Los Angeles that took place on Thursday, August 21st. It was actually the first show. It was actually one of the first stories that I covered and all that when I got off suspension. When the rapper Lil Nas was found walking on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City in his underwear and some cowboy boots, right? So, just to recap it, like at approximately 6 a.m., the officers have responded to calls reporting a naked man, you know what I'm saying, wandering down Ventura Boulevard. The video was published on TMZ. I played it for y'all. So it reportedly showed Lil Nas, real name Montero Lamar Hill. His parents named him like they knew he was gonna be gay. But anyway, so they were saying like first. So I found out like cause the whole thing is nude, and I'm like, well, oh, thank God, like I didn't see a video of him naked. They were saying that first he was in his underwear and the cowboy boots, and later it got completely naked. So after being approached by the officers, Hill is accused of charging them. Now, according to the criminal complaint, he did unlawfully use force and violence and inflict an injury on three officers, right? Now, I'm just imagining the trauma of these fucking officers. Normally, I don't be, I'm like, fuck police. But nobody deserves or whatever to have a member of the Rainbow Mafia asshole naked in the middle of Ventura Boulevard. Punch you in the face, bro. That's not cool. Assaulting the officer while on duty or whatever is like because the initial news joint when I was reading yesterday said he punched one officer twice in the face. But I'm thinking about that, like how the fuck whatever they let this goofy nigga hit three officers, bro. So he got hella soft for whatever reason. Lil Nas though, like initially he was charged with some misdemeanors and they put him like, they took him to the hospital and all this other shit, right? But when he went to be arraigned, that motherfucker got charged with 4 felonies. 3 counts of battery with injury to a police officer and 1 count of resisting an executive officer. Now, one thing I know from living in California, at a minimum, he's looking at 16 months. He could get up to 3 for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And like it's some fines or whatever you have to pay or whatever. Might be like 5 or 10 G's or some shit like that. I can't remember. But I know it's divisible by 5. He got 3 of them. The resisting arrest or executive officer or whatever and shit, that's pretty much, I had to look that one up. That one's like another 16 months to 3 years in prison. So this fairy zest monster is looking at about 5 years and 4 months to about 12 years and up to a $40,000 fine. You know what I'm saying? Now, during his arraignment yesterday on August 25th, Hill pleaded not guilty to all of the felony charges. A judge set his bail at $75,000, which he has posted. As a condition of his bail, the rapper must attend 4 Narcotics Anonymous meetings per week or enroll in a outpatient treatment program. Now, Hill's attorney, Christy O'Connor, referred to the incident as aberration in his life and stated that there was no evidence of illegal substance use. His father, Robert Stafford, told reporters that Lil Nas X is very remorseful and will get the help he needs. But like Mike, nah, I can't say that on YouTube. I was gonna say what Mike Epps said or whatever to Miss Pearly next Friday after next. But I just thought about community guy. I ain't even gonna play with y'all. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office said that if convicted on all 4 felony counts, Lil Nas X faces a minimum of 5 years in state prison. You know, I guess since he had no real criminal history or whatever to qualify for the max. You know, no matter the specific, because no matter the specific charges, conviction on a felony doesn't automatically lead to the maximum possible sentence. You know what I mean? The sentence will be determined during the sentencing phase and like PSI or PSR, depending on how they say it in your state, which is a pre-sentencing report or a pre-sentencing investigation. You know what I'm saying? Taking in, and that pretty much just takes into account like the criminal history, specifics of the incident, and any mitigating circumstances that might work in your favor. But yeah, man, from misdemeanor to felony because he was on drugs and rainbows. Shit crazy. But tell me what y'all think, man. Y'all think whatever they gonna try to cook him? Or you think the Rainbow Mafia is gonna come to his defense or whatever and get him out of there? But yeah, man. Got that boy behind me. No locked doors. Shit, Joe, man, Gabe, yeah, I'm all for this before I say some shit that I can't take back. Next up, another update. It's like we can just call this Update Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I like when the story comes together. So yesterday I covered, let y'all know that the Mets and Phillies were starting the series. All right. So the New York Mets beat the Philadelphia Phillies for 13-3 in game 1 of their series, on Monday, August 25th, 2025. Yeah, it's a whole lot of wins and losses yesterday. The game took place at Citi Field in New York. The Mets overcame a nearly 3-0 deficit to win convincingly. Luis Torres was a key player for the Mets, hitting a 3-run homer and matching his career high with 5 RBIs. Mark Vientos also contributed significantly with 2 RBI doubles. And the Mets' victory reduced the Phillies' lead in the NL East, you know, because they going at it for the title right now, you know what I mean, trying to get that pennant. This win is considered a statement from the Mets, indicating that, well, their belief that they are still, you know, in contention for the division title. The Phillies actually had an early lead with Alec Baum hitting a 2-run single off of Mets catcher Senga, Kodai Senga. I think I said his name. I know how to say the last name. Of all the baseball players, I can't pronounce their first name. Some of the shit. Yeah, but anyway, he hit that run in the 3rd inning. And in the bottom of the 4th inning, with the score 3-0, Phillies pitcher Christopher Sanchez walked Pete Alonso. He walked in the second base. Yeah, he walked in the second. I thought it was first, but they walked in the second. Now this play was considered like the turning point. You know what I mean? And I just watched the highlights, but this was considered the turning point of the game, because Sanchez then gave up a 2-out RBI double to Mark Vientos, followed by an RBI single by Brandon Nimmo. Also is the RBI single for Jeff McNeil, tying the game 3-3. You know what I mean? So the first 3 innings, like, yeah, I do remember seeing it, because I was watching it and then like stopped watching it, and then I just went and watched some of the highlights or whatever and shit. But yeah, they was down bad. Like, I was kind of upset, because I was like, damn, I reported on these niggas and now they're gonna lose. You get what I'm saying? But after the 3rd and 4th inning and shit, it was up. Mark Vientos hit his 2nd RBI double in the 5th inning, scoring Juan Soto and pulling the Mets up 4-3. Luis Torres hit a RBI double in the 6th inning and increased the Mets lead to 5-3. In the 7th inning, I think they scored one more touchdown. I think it was like 6. Luis Torres, I know he hit like a 3-run homer. That shit was crazy. I'll put the clips in here, whatever, while later on when I edit this shit. But yeah, Torres actually hit a 3-run home run off of Phillies reliever Jordan Romano, pushing the lead to 10-3. Yeah, Torres getting crazy. I might need a Torres jersey. The Mets continued their offensive explosion, scoring 10 unanswered runs after the 4th inning. So meaning that after the Phillies scored that, so the Phillies did not score for the remaining 6 innings. That's bugged up. So that means, damn, what is that, 11-19? Yeah, 11 for 19. Like that basically means that the amount of time that they went and they were in possession, then that shit crazy. But hell yeah, man! Shout out to the Mets, man. New York shit, you right? I got the wrong hat on, but you know what the fuck. You did. But I just really started getting into baseball. I'll tell y'all a funny ass story or whatever and shit. I low key like about 5 years ago, maybe longer. No, I think I was still locked up. It was probably longer than that. That's where I learned how to count the innings in baseball. Like I didn't know how that shit worked. I just never I used to go I went to a couple Yankee games, but I mean a lot of New Yorkers go to Yankee games. I was in there, you know what I'm saying, like drinking, eating food, and talking shit. Be like a party in them stands. But yeah, man, the Yankees, I don't know what the fuck we doing. So, like I said, everything New York. Like when I was covering the Giant thing, I said I was on everything New York this year. So, yeah, man, we got game 2 tonight. We gonna see how that shit go out. Oh wow. Chasing a naked guy, the officer a little traumatized. They probably didn't want to touch his goofy ass. Yeah, man. So that's the sports news right now. We're gonna get into something that I started yesterday. I did a storytelling segment yesterday, so I guess we could get into that. But before we do that, gonna play exclusive real quick or whatever, and come right back.
Got no money, got them bricks in his sleeve and they go for the low. Got no money, dog food making dog shit, you know. Got no money, put a 2 on the 1, take the show on the road. Already know money, ain't having no money, and so I pump that weight to get that dope money. I got myself the money play, trying to make crime pay. Form a cheese line like back in the day. Pulled up on the set, just me on my own, and niggas think if they block, so I keep me a chrome up in New York, so you know how I play, dog. And you got a problem if that boy try to take off. I'm just trying to make sure that you understand. 200 grams, that could take 2 on the gram. Clear 100 grams, hustle for the sneakers. I'm trying to meet the leaders of the cartel, but to get the work cheaper. Too much money to be made. I'm skipping class today. Made something out of nothing. 15, I was hustling. Got a rap dream, but the dope game paid me. I was square more blowing dough like crazy. Beat the roof to the chicken, can't call me lazy. And the game too official and the flow go crazy. See back then, if you trapped in rap, you was the young nigga version of Jay-Z. And I was in the trap with a JB. I feel like you can't even fuck with me lately. You know I'm talking about Matthews when I pitch like Frank. And not the one with loose lips when his ship got sank. Make niggas pass away when they work with the laws. No pick if they snitch and we murder them all. Was selling herb before I went got involved with dogs. If that was lunch money, I need paper to ball. See, before this it was slow money. That weed shit was taking too long. I need so money. I got no money. I got it now. Put the 2 on the 1, take the show on the road. Already know money, they having no money. And so I pump that weight, they get that dough money. I got dough money. Got the bricks in the sleeve and they go for the low. Got dough money. Dog food, make some dog shit, you know. Got dough money. The 2 on the 1, take the show on the road. Already know money, they having no money. And so I pump that weight, they get that dough money. I got dough money.
Yeah, we back with some more with. So, all right. So, we're gonna get into a little story. Yesterday, I told y'all about how when I had gone to prison, and I was in the reception facility downstate and all that, and the bug out that I had to serve or whatever, in the wing or whatever. So, go to jail. I'm gonna tell y'all a funny ass story. There's gonna be a couple of short ones, but some trap tales. So, one of the funniest incidents that ever happened to me was I was on this lot, and it was like a steep ass hill, right? So, a little like corner where we would all be chilling at is like at the bottom of the hill. And this is like a small town, so it's really not that much that's going on like up there and shit, but it was pretty active the way it was, right? And so the nigga coming down the hill, I'm not really paying him no mind. He's carrying something, like a little table, a nightstand or whatever. He's struggling with the shit to come down the hill. So finally he gets down the hill. I'm just like looking at him as he gets closer, like, where the fuck he gonna go with this shit? That nigga stopped right in front of me. And he puts the nightstand in front of me. He's like, yo, Red. That's what they was calling me in that town. Like, yo, Red. Yo, what you give me for this, man? I'm like, give you for this? I'm like, nigga, wouldn't the nightstand? I said, where's the other one? I said, never mind. I said, I don't even have anything wood in my house like that, bro. And he was like, nah, man. He said, this just ain't any nightstand. He said, look at that right there. You see them initials? He's pointing at the initials, though. This shit look freshly carved. Like somebody just took something and carved into the wood of the nightstand. Said GH. I'm looking at this shit like, GH? Nigga, what the fuck that mean? Get high? You know what I'm saying? So he's like, nah, man. This is history right here. This is Gregory Hines' nightstand. I said, I know this nigga. I said, I know you're not talking about the Harlem Night nigga. He's like, but I lie to you? I said, for drugs? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I was so entertained at the idea that, for one, this nigga found a nightstand, had the idea to carve GH in it. He probably was thinking about getting hot. And then just came up with the idea like, I'm going to tell somebody this from Gregory Hunt. You know what I'm saying? So, so the funny part about it was, at the end of all of that, right, I tell one of the homies, I say, yo, give homie a bag. So, you know, he like that dog food shit. I'm like, yo, look, give this nigga a bag, man. I said, get the fuck out of here. So, nigga, I said, matter of fact, give him two and shit forever. So he's like, oh, that's love. No, I'm gonna come back. No, I'm gonna come back, right? I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. I said, you got it. And that nigga tried to leave and leave the nightstand there. Like we really made a deal. I said, hey, bro. I said, yo, come here. To get this goddamn nightstand off my corner, nigga. That nigga said, you ain't gonna keep it. He said, man, I'm trying to tell you, the piece of history is a piece of history. Now, there's a part of me that always wondered, what if, nigga? Like, what if that shit really was? You know what I'm saying? To me, just on some, that's just like one funny ass story or whatever and shit that, you know, I think, you know, that I had with me. Another one, I was in Syracuse, New York. This had to be, and I was actually still I was still living in California, but I came out here, I came out east and, you know, was selling some CDs, and then I came and got a lot of shit, bro. I ran into my old supervisor from the little courier job I had. I started working again. I was selling CDs. I started hustling again. Like, I just had like shit going on from three different directions. And it didn't even last long because I went right back to California. Like, let's just say I left California for about 4 months. Like, I still had a spot out there and everything. Girl was still out there. Like, I was just on the road selling mixtapes and shit. I had gone from, that's a whole fucking story in itself that I should tell. I'll probably tell that shit tomorrow. But I took the bus from San Francisco, California, and rode state to state all the way until I hit New York, selling CDs. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, when I get back to New York and shit, like, I post up for a minute. I knew when I stayed for the West Indian Day Parade that I was probably gonna be chilling out here. So anyway, I'm up here in Syracuse or whatever, helping one of my peoples out. You know, with a little spot he had. And I get put with this chick. I don't even give a fuck about saying the name. Chick named Daphne. We call her Daphne. Right? So when we go inside the Daphne spot, we sitting in there and she tried a little shit out. We had to pause at the time. And, you know, she like, oh, this good and all this other shit or whatever. So then, you know, she's sitting there like she's sitting across from me at the table. And she's just out of nowhere like, you cute. Oh, shit. Good thing or whatever, we're not using this spot like as a spot, because niggas had this thing like you might have to take one for the team, like if the girl like you, but she might be a fucking mud duck, but you want to make that money, so you gonna, you know, do what you gotta do for it. And yeah, bro, like, you know, a half-ass decent chick or whatever and shit is one thing. Like, right? But fucking a fiend, I just ain't with it. And I know there's a lot of people say like, oh, you haven't really been in the drug game or whatever if you haven't slept with a custody and everything like that. Well, I haven't, and I was really in that shit. So speak for yourself, hood booger. So yeah, you know, I'm running around with that. Now, one thing I will say is, she made a couple plays, but then again, it was ever not. That whole shit was really like a waste of time. That whole trip. And I can get in more into the trip or whatever and shit later. But about Daphne, bro, one night I'm out with her and we're trying to like catch some sales and everything because she know all the fiends and everything. So I'm just like getting familiar. Right? This bitch go inside the store. I didn't even realize until she already did it. And I ain't gonna blow her spot up because you know I'm dirty and she got whatever she got going on. This bitch was in the store stealing beers, right? And I didn't realize that whatever that she even had the beer because she had the beer inside of the sleeve of her coat. Syracuse is cold as fuck. It's upstate New York. And it was wintertime. Like I want to say November, maybe December-ish, you know? And oh, this is good because it segues into something else that I've been meaning to talk about. But we were walking around there, she got the beer in her sleeve, and this is when I found out that Daphne be prostituting to support her little habit. So while she got the stolen beer in her coat, and I'm with her outside on this little block, like a little stoop and everything, where we just post up at waiting to see what happens, right? She trying to flag down cars to like, you know, go do her thing. So I'm like, oh, this bitch way too hot. Bitch. You in here stealing. You stealing, prostituting, hitting the crack here and there in between. And I'm out here with dog food and hard on me. Nigga, like, you understand what I'm saying? So then I bust a play or whatever and shit. Finally, some paper comes through. I bust the play. It's a nigga across the street. So when he see me bust the play, and then like he see somebody else come up, he walk up like, nah, we ain't doing that. I'm like, we ain't doing what? So I'm already like just analyzing the situation. I'm watching his hands. I'm watching his like movement. I'm looking around to see if anybody's, you know, with him, right? So the dude pull out a knife. I see the knife, but I don't react. Like I'm kind of letting him believe that I don't see the knife. As soon as he moved, I know some shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, but take the knife on. I'm watching. This loud ass bitch with the beer in her hand. She's not even hiding it in the sleeve anymore. It's out. She said, oh, you got a knife? We got guns, yo. Hella loud. And she started this whole scene. Now, mind you, bro, me and dude is about to probably just about to get into it over, you know, drug turf. Yo, when I tell you she caused such a scene and started screaming and then, bro, me and Buddy both walked away from her. Like, man, fuck that. Like, and I ain't fuck with Shorty no more. Especially when I found out that her goddamn man was a retired I don't know if he was a police officer in Utica, New York, or a sheriff like with Oneida County, but that was yeah, I wasn't fucking with Shorty no more. And then it wasn't even no whole heap of paper coming through to be dealing with all that shit. Cause I've dealt with some bug outs before, like hustling. But the only reason why like I tolerated that shit was because every time I leave out the door with these niggas to go somewhere or go and see a friend of theirs, $500, a couple hours, $1,000, a couple hours, like, you know, then come right back. So, you know, that was that. But yeah, those are just some funny like trap tales. You know, what's interesting is after that we left, because there was a whole thing in an apartment that we were using, like the trap out of, and I don't know, the girl liked my boy, and my boy didn't like her, and so she just got like extra volatile, and she was kind of taking that shit out on her kid, and that's where me and her kind of fell out, like because she ain't here, she had a 3-year-old daughter, bro, and like we were staying in the house, like we weren't actually selling anything out of it, right? But she had a 3-year-old daughter, and she be calling the little girl all kind of bitches and shit like that or whatever. And one day I just snapped like, yo, calm your ass down or whatever and shit like that or whatever. I said, cause you just got punked by the bitch in Price Shop or some shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and you ain't talk to her like that. And then my man start calling her, cause this is when Norbit came out. And my man started calling her Rasputia. And then we started calling her Rasputia. And it was crazy because we kind of kept that shit in-house. But one day that bitch was walking down the street, like in public, and he called her that shit. And then it was just like all gloves were off then. You know what I mean? Because she was just starting to do a lot of little bird shit. And it was almost a situation that got way out of hand or whatever and shit, to the point where telephone cords got, like, all the phones in that house, because there's still the house phones in there. All the phones in that house or whatever got pulled out the wall. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever been in a situation or done some shit like that, but if you're ever in a situation or whatever where somebody gets mad and they start yanking all the phones out the wall and they, oh, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. But after that, I ended up going back to California, and that's when I finally did a face-to-face or whatever with Charles Cosby, Zelda Blanco's old little nigga. And, shit was cool for a while until it wasn't. And yeah, we'll probably get into that tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to know about me and Charles Cosby, the cocaine cowboy and the cocaine now boy. You understand what I'm saying? And tune in tomorrow and shit like that, man. The Rise and Grind live show that'll be episode 33. This is episode 32. And yeah, man, that's our show. That's what I got for y'all today. Let's see what time is it? Almost 11:30. Let's see. Maybe I'll fuck around. You got 12 minutes. Thinking. I'm just screening. Fuck. I don't know what the fuck going on with this shit. But yeah, man. Just going looking through some shit. Yeah, dog. The Rise and Grind live show. I am about to be the hell gone out of here. So, yeah, man, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. Shout out to everybody who pulled up today. More videos, more content coming later. I'm actually editing my full recap of the BMF series. We're gonna unpack it all. You heard? Might drop it all in one, might slice it up or whatever per season. You know, we'll see. Because I previously recorded some of it, and then there was some like things when I was editing things that I wanted to like add in there. So you know, we just kind of going over it, little voiceovers and all that. But yeah, dog. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Stay dangerous so you can be safe, man. It's your boy VLADTV. I'm out.